Skippy here with your instant match reaction as Crystal Palace come from 2 goals behind to get a valuable point, drawing 2-2 against Leicester. Palace went back to their Pardew days in their defending today, and both their goals were harking back to those era just before Allardyce came in. The first one, Robert Huth was afforded pretty much the entire penalty area to rise above Joel Ward and score from a throw-in direct from Christian Fuchs. And then the second, just after half-time, was just a direct counter-attack, similar to how Palace conceded the last goal against Burnley when we lost 3-2 away back in November, December time. And that was the worry. I felt that Palace were falling back into their old ways. You know, they didn't look as organised as they have done in the past few games. And I think that was a product of the way Leicester played. They were more than happy to sit with 2 banks of 4, similar to how Palace have played against Arsenal and Chelsea. And Palace lacked that kind of cutting edge, especially in the first half, to break them down. Leicester more than happy to absorb attacks, defend. Their wing-backs weren't pushing on how Arsenal were on Monday night. And Townsend and Zaha didn't find the joy that they did on Monday in the first half. Second half, after the second goal, really woke Palace up and they came back firing. Kabay got one back pretty much straight after Vardy had scored, and Palace looked like the only team that were going to go on to get anything from that game. And then Benteke rising above the Leicester defence to bury one home in a very good play. And he was my man of the match today. He'd come under a lot of criticism before Allardyce came in, had a barren run of form, not scoring many goals. But the past, say, 5 or 6 games, he's looked like he's really up for it. He's put his body around, he's bringing his others into play, and I think Palace are playing to his strengths now as well. They're not putting the ball in the air as much off his head, looking to play to his feet and to his chest, where actually for a big guy, he's very good. Another quick mention for a couple of the other players that have come under criticism this season that have done well. Andros Townsend also had a very good game today. In his defensive side, which was lacking under Pardew sort of thing, has come to the fruition. You saw him at the end of the game chasing back the wing backs and their wingers, putting in 2 desperate tackles sort of thing that stopped Leicester hitting us on the counter, which they did so deadly last season and earned them the champions. And also Martin Kelly, not well loved by many Palace fans and left hung out to dry, as many have said, in the left back position. But it's amazing how a couple of running games in his preferred position at right centre half has shown his qualities, and I thought he did very well today against 2 tricky opposition in Ulloa and Vardy. He managed to contain the pace of Vardy for most of the game, and he was more on the depth at winning the balls in the air, especially when coming up with the guys that likes of Ulloa, who we all know from his Brighton days it can be lethal in the air. So all round, not a bad performance. A point is something that I would not say no to, and it's put us 7 points clear now of Swansea. We've gone above Bournemouth sort of thing, and we're 15th, and we've drawn other teams kind of into that relegation mix now. Looking at perhaps 1 more win, 2 wins definitely to be safe, and then we can look at what we need for next season. As always, make sure you follow FYP on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat and Instagram. I've been Chris Windsor, up the Palace.